Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily Dose of English. I'm Tom, your friendly English teacher, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. How are you doing? I hope you're ready for another fun and useful English lesson. Today we're going to learn something really important: how to talk about your hobbies and free time activities in English. This is one of the most common conversation topics when you meet new people. Whether you're at a party, in a job interview, or just making new friends, people will often ask you, "What do you like to do in your free time?" By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to answer this question confidently and naturally. You'll learn useful vocabulary, common phrases, and real expressions that native speakers use every day. We'll practice together with shadowing exercises, and I'll tell you some interesting stories too. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's start learning. Remember, the most important thing is to practice speaking out loud. Don't be shy. It's just you and me here. Ready? Let's go. First, let's learn some essential vocabulary about hobbies and free time activities. I'll teach you the words, use them in sentences, and then we'll practice together. Let's start with indoor hobbies. These are activities you do inside your home or in buildings. Reading. This means looking at books, magazines, or articles and understanding the words. I love reading mystery novels. I love reading mystery novels. Now you repeat. Cooking. This means preparing food, making meals. My sister enjoys cooking Italian food. My sister enjoys cooking Italian food. Now you repeat. Playing video games. This means using a computer or console to play games. Many teenagers like playing video games. Many teenagers like playing video games. Now you repeat. Watching movies. This means viewing films on television, computer, or at the cinema. We watch movies every Friday night. We watch movies every Friday night. Now you repeat. Listening to music. This means hearing and enjoying songs or instrumental pieces. I listen to music while I work. I listen to music while I work. Now you repeat. Now let's learn about outdoor hobbies. These are activities you do outside. Hiking. This means walking in nature, usually on mountains or trails. They go hiking in the mountains. They go hiking in the mountains. Now you repeat. Swimming. This means moving through water using your arms and legs. Swimming is great exercise. Swimming is great exercise. Now you repeat. Cycling. This means riding a bicycle. I cycle to work every day. I cycle to work every day. Now you repeat. Gardening. This means growing plants, flowers, or vegetables. My grandmother loves gardening. My grandmother loves gardening. Now you repeat. Playing sports. This means doing physical activities with rules like football or tennis. He plays basketball twice a week. He plays basketball twice a week. Now you repeat. Let's also learn some creative hobbies. Painting. This means creating pictures using colours and brushes. She started painting last year. She started painting last year. Now you repeat. Photography. This means taking pictures with a camera. Photography helps me see the world differently. Photography helps me see the world differently. Now you repeat. Let's break that longer sentence into chunks. Photography helps me. Photography helps me. Now you repeat. See the world differently. See the world differently. Now you repeat. Writing. This means creating stories, poems, or articles with words. I write in my journal every morning. I write in my journal every morning. Now you repeat. Playing a musical instrument. This means making music with things like guitar, piano, or drums. Learning to play the guitar is challenging. Learning to play the guitar is challenging. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. Learning to play the guitar. Learning to play the guitar. Now you repeat. Is challenging. Is challenging. Now you repeat. Now that we know the vocabulary, let's learn how to use these words in real conversations. I'll teach you common phrases that native speakers use all the time. When someone asks about your hobbies, here are different ways to answer. In my free time, I like to. In my free time, I like to read books. In my free time, I like to read books. Now you repeat. I'm really into. This is a casual way to say you really like something. I'm really into photography these days. I'm really into photography these days. Now you repeat. I'm passionate about. This means you love something very much. I'm passionate about cooking. I'm passionate about cooking. Now you repeat. I spend most of my weekends. I spend most of my weekends hiking. I spend most of my weekends hiking. Now you repeat. I've been for years. This shows how long you've done something. I've been playing tennis for 5 years. I've been playing tennis for 5 years. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. I've been playing tennis. I've been playing tennis. Now you repeat. For 5 years. For 5 years. Now you repeat. Here's a cultural note. In English-speaking countries, people often use been plus ing to talk about hobbies they started in the past and still do now. It sounds more natural than saying, I play tennis for 5 years. Now let's learn phrases for talking about new hobbies. I've recently started learning Spanish. I've recently started learning Spanish. Now you repeat. I'm thinking about taking up. This means you want to start a new hobby. I'm thinking about taking up yoga. I'm thinking about taking up yoga. Now you repeat. I've always wanted to try. I've always wanted to try rock climbing. I've always wanted to try rock climbing. Now you repeat. And here are phrases for hobbies you don't do anymore. I used to play the piano, but I stopped. I used to play the piano, but I stopped. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. I used to play the piano. I used to play the piano. Now you repeat. But I stopped. But I stopped. Now you repeat. I haven't in a long time. I haven't painted in a long time. I haven't painted in a long time. Now you repeat. It's not just about talking about yourself. You also need to know how to ask others about their hobbies. Here are natural ways to do this. What do you like to do in your free time? What do you like to do in your free time? What do you like to do in your free time? Now you repeat. Let's break that down. What do you like to do? What do you like to do? Now you repeat. In your free time. In your free time. Now you repeat. Do you have any hobbies? Do you have any hobbies? Do you have any hobbies? Now you repeat. What are you into these days? This is very casual and friendly. What are you into these days? What are you into these days? Now you repeat. How did you get into? Use this when someone mentions their hobby. How did you get into photography? How did you get into photography? Now you repeat. How long have you been playing guitar? How long have you been playing guitar? Now you repeat. What do you enjoy most about hiking? What do you enjoy most about hiking? Now you repeat. Practice section. Part 1. Shadowing drills. Now let's do some intensive shadowing practice. I'll say complete sentences about hobbies, and you repeat after me. Remember to speak out loud. This is how you build fluency. I love spending time outdoors. I love spending time outdoors. Now you repeat. Reading helps me relax after work. Reading helps me relax after work. Now you repeat. My favourite hobby is collecting stamps. My favourite hobby is collecting stamps. Now you repeat. I go swimming 3 times a week. I go swimming 3 times a week. Now you repeat. Cooking is more than just a hobby for me. Cooking is more than just a hobby for me. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. Cooking is more than. Cooking is more than. Now you repeat. Just a hobby for me. Just a hobby for me. Now you repeat. I've been interested in astronomy since I was a child. I've been interested in astronomy since I was a child. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. I've been interested in astronomy. I've been interested in astronomy. Now you repeat. Since I was a child. Since I was a child. Now you repeat. Playing chess helps me think strategically. Playing chess helps me think strategically. Now you repeat. I find gardening very therapeutic. I find gardening very therapeutic. Now you repeat. My friends and I meet every Sunday to play football. My friends and I meet every Sunday to play football. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. My friends and I meet. My friends and I meet. Now you repeat. Every Sunday to play football. Every Sunday to play football. Now you repeat. Now let's practice having conversations about hobbies. I'll give you one side of the conversation and you can practice responding. Then I'll give you example answers. Person A. So what do you do for fun? Here's how you could answer. Well, I really enjoy reading science fiction novels. Well, I really enjoy reading science fiction novels. Now you repeat. Or you could say, I'm really into hiking and camping. I'm really into hiking and camping. Now you repeat. Person A. How long have you been doing that? You could answer, I've been reading since I was young. I've been reading since I was young. Now you repeat. Or, I started hiking about 2 years ago. I started hiking about 2 years ago. Now you repeat. Person A. That sounds interesting. How often do you go? You could say, I try to go hiking every weekend. I try to go hiking every weekend. Now you repeat. Or, I read for at least an hour every day. I read for at least an hour every day. Now you repeat. Let me tell you a story about my friend Mark and how he discovered his new hobby. This will help you see how we use this vocabulary in real life. Mark works in an office. Mark works in an office. Now you repeat. He sits at a computer all day. He sits at a computer all day. Now you repeat. He was feeling stressed and tired. He was feeling stressed and tired. Now you repeat. One day his colleague Sarah asked him a question. She said, Mark, what do you do to relax? Mark, what do you do to relax? Now you repeat. Mark thought about it. Mark thought about it. Now you repeat. He realised he didn't have any hobbies. He realised he didn't have any hobbies. Now you repeat. He just worked and watched TV. He just worked and watched TV. Now you repeat. Sarah told him about her hobby. Sarah told him about her hobby. Now you repeat. I've been doing pottery for 6 months. I've been doing pottery for 6 months. Now you repeat. It's so relaxing and creative. It's so relaxing and creative. Now you repeat. This gave Mark an idea. This gave Mark an idea. Now you repeat. He decided to try something new. He decided to try something new. Now you repeat. Mark researched different hobbies online. Mark researched different hobbies online. Now you repeat. He found a local photography club. He found a local photography club. Now you repeat. I've always liked taking pictures, he thought. I've always liked taking pictures, he thought. Now you repeat. He went to his first meeting. He went to his first meeting. Now you repeat. Everyone was very friendly. Everyone was very friendly. Now you repeat. They asked him, Are you new to photography? Are you new to photography? Now you repeat. Mark answered honestly. Mark answered honestly. Now you repeat. Yes, I'm just starting out. Yes, I'm just starting out. Now you repeat. The group leader smiled. The group leader smiled. Now you repeat. That's great. We all started somewhere. That's great. We all started somewhere. Now you repeat. Now 6 months later, Mark loves photography. Now 6 months later, Mark loves photography. Now you repeat. He takes his camera everywhere. He takes his camera everywhere. Now you repeat. He goes on photo walks every weekend. He goes on photo walks every weekend. Now you repeat. When people ask about his hobbies now, he says, I'm really passionate about photography. I'm really passionate about photography. Now you repeat. I love capturing special moments. I love capturing special moments. Now you repeat. It helps me see beauty in everyday things. It helps me see beauty in everyday things. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. It helps me see beauty. It helps me see beauty. Now you repeat. In everyday things, in everyday things. Now you repeat. Mark has made many new friends. Mark has made many new friends. Now you repeat. He's much happier now. He's much happier now. Now you repeat. He tells everyone, find a hobby you love. Find a hobby you love. Now you repeat. It will change your life. It will change your life. Now you repeat. Let me share some common mistakes learners make when talking about hobbies and how to fix them. Mistake 1. Using the wrong preposition. Wrong. I'm interested in photography. Correct. I'm interested in photography. I'm interested in photography. Now you repeat. Mistake 2. Forgetting to use ing after enjoy or like. Wrong. I enjoy to swim. Correct. I enjoy swimming. I enjoy swimming. Now you repeat. Mistake 3. Using present simple instead of present perfect continuous. Wrong. I play tennis since 5 years. Correct. I've been playing tennis for 5 years. I've been playing tennis for 5 years. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. I've been playing tennis. I've been playing tennis. Now you repeat. For 5 years. For 5 years. Now you repeat. Mistake 4. Direct translation from your language. Wrong. I make yoga. Correct. I do yoga. I do yoga. Now you repeat. Mistake 5. Using hobby too much. Instead of always saying, my hobby is. Try these variations. I love painting. I love painting. Now you repeat. I'm into cycling. I'm into cycling. Now you repeat. I spend my free time reading. I spend my free time reading. Now you repeat. Let's practice with a real conversation that might happen at a party. Listen carefully and repeat each line. Emma meets John at a friend's party. They start talking. Emma. Hi, I'm Emma. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Emma. Nice to meet you. Now you repeat. John. Hi, Emma. I'm John. Great party, isn't it? Hi, Emma. I'm John. Great party, isn't it? Now you repeat. Emma. Yes, it's wonderful. So what do you like to do for fun? Yes, it's wonderful. So what do you like to do for fun? Now you repeat. Let's break that down. Yes, it's wonderful. Yes, it's wonderful. Now you repeat. So what do you like to do for fun? So what do you like to do for fun? Now you repeat. John. Well, I'm really into rock climbing. Well, I'm really into rock climbing. Now you repeat. Emma. Oh, wow! That sounds exciting but scary. Oh, wow! That sounds exciting but scary. Now you repeat. John. It's actually very safe with proper equipment. It's actually very safe with proper equipment. Now you repeat. John. How about you? Any hobbies? How about you? Any hobbies? Now you repeat. Emma. I love painting watercolours. I love painting watercolours. Now you repeat. Emma. I find it very relaxing. I find it very relaxing. Now you repeat. John. That's wonderful. How long have you been painting? That's wonderful. How long have you been painting? Now you repeat. Let's break that down. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now you repeat. How long have you been painting? How long have you been painting? Now you repeat. Emma. I started about 3 years ago. I started about 3 years ago. Now you repeat. Emma. I take classes every Wednesday evening. I take classes every Wednesday evening. Now you repeat. John. Do you sell your paintings? Do you sell your paintings? Now you repeat. Emma. Sometimes at local art fairs. Sometimes at local art fairs. Now you repeat. Emma. It's more for enjoyment than money. It's more for enjoyment than money. Now you repeat. John. That's the best reason to have a hobby. That's the best reason to have a hobby. Now you repeat. When someone shows interest in your hobby, you need to be able to describe it in more detail. Let's practice some useful phrases. What I love most about reading is. What I love most about reading is. Now you repeat it. It allows me to escape reality. It allows me to escape reality. Now you repeat. The best part about hiking is the fresh air. The best part about hiking is the fresh air. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. The best part about hiking. The best part about hiking. Now you repeat. Is the fresh air? Is the fresh air? Now you repeat. I find cooking very creative and satisfying. I find cooking very creative and satisfying. Now you repeat. I usually paint on Sunday afternoons. I usually paint on Sunday afternoons. Now you repeat. I try to practice guitar every evening. I try to practice guitar every evening. Now you repeat. Whenever I have free time, I go cycling. Whenever I have free time, I go cycling. Now you repeat. I do yoga at home in my living room. I do yoga at home in my living room. Now you repeat. There's a great hiking trail near my house. There's a great hiking trail near my house. Now you repeat. I swim at the local sports centre. I swim at the local sports centre. Now you repeat. Here's something interesting about hobbies in English-speaking cultures. In countries like the USA, UK, Canada, and Australia, having hobbies is considered very important for work-life balance. Employers often ask about hobbies in job interviews. Employers often ask about hobbies in job interviews. Now you repeat. They want to see that you're a well-rounded person. They want to see that you're a well-rounded person. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. They want to see that. They want to see that. Now you repeat. You're a well-rounded person. You're a well-rounded person. Now you repeat. Some hobbies can help your career. Some hobbies can help your career. Now you repeat. For example, team sports show you can work with others. For example, team sports show you can work with others. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. For example, team sports show. For example, team sports show. Now you repeat. You can work with others. You can work with others. Now you repeat. Creative hobbies show you think outside the box. Creative hobbies show you think outside the box. Now you repeat. Many people have more than one hobby. Let's practice talking about multiple interests. I have a few different hobbies. I have a few different hobbies. Now you repeat. My main hobby is photography, but I also enjoy cooking. My main hobby is photography, but I also enjoy cooking. Now you repeat. Let's break that down. My main hobby is photography. My main hobby is photography. Now you repeat. But I also enjoy cooking. But I also enjoy cooking. Now you repeat. I like both indoor and outdoor activities. I like both indoor and outdoor activities. Now you repeat. In winter I read. In summer I hike. In winter I read. In summer I hike. Now you repeat. I'm interested in many things. I'm interested in many things. Now you repeat. It depends on my mood. It depends on my mood. Now you repeat. Let's learn some more advanced phrases that will make you sound really natural. I'm a bit of a bookworm. I'm a bit of a bookworm. Now you repeat. This means you really love reading. I'm hooked on cycling. I'm hooked on cycling. Now you repeat. This means you're addicted to it in a good way. Photography is my thing. Photography is my thing. Now you repeat. This is a very casual way to say it's your main interest. I live and breathe football. I live and breathe football. Now you repeat. This means you're extremely passionate about it. I dabble in painting. I dabble in painting. Now you repeat. This means you do it sometimes but not seriously. I'm a weekend warrior. I'm a weekend warrior. Now you repeat. This means you do sports or activities mainly on weekends. Wow, we've learnt so much today. Let's quickly review what we covered. We learned essential hobby vocabulary, from reading and cooking to hiking and photography. We practiced useful phrases like, in my free time, I like to, now you repeat. I'm really into, now you repeat. I've been doing this for, now you repeat. We learned how to ask others about their hobbies politely and naturally. We heard Mark's story about finding photography and how it changed his life. We practiced a real conversation between Emma and John at a party. And we learned some advanced phrases to sound more natural. Remember, the key to speaking English well is practice. Use these phrases in real conversations. Talk about your hobbies with English speakers online or in person. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Here's your homework. Think about your favourite hobby. Practice describing it using the phrases we learned today. Say it out loud at least 5 times. Record yourself if you can and listen back. You'll be amazed at your progress. Thank you so much for learning with me today. If you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe to Daily Dose of English and hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Leave a comment below telling me about your favourite hobby. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, every day you practice, you get a little bit better. Every day you practice, you get a little bit better. Now you repeat. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. You're doing an amazing job. This is Tom from Daily Dose of English saying goodbye for now. See you in the next lesson. Take care and happy learning.